Christmas is here, and BANITSA is going to be on every Bulgarian table. But regardless of what time of year it is, or date for that matter, because it can be enjoyed for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, BANITSA is one of the most versatile, popular, and beloved Bulgarian treats. And whether your weapon of choice for crushing it is ayran or boza, which is actually very easy to make, and even easier if you have some sourdough starter, I'll show you how to make both very soon. I've ganged up with Mama on this one, and I picked her brain for tips and tricks to bring you the best BANITSA you've ever had. Let's roll! For the filling, we're gonna start by cracking some eggs. Most recipes out there are gonna tell you to use 3 or 4, but Mama says use 6, so that is what I do. Now, this is optional, but I like to give them a little whisk before I add the rest. Add about 3/4 of a cup or around 200 ml of yogurt. We're gonna whisk that into the eggs, and it's quickly gonna start looking like a bad day after a good night out. But Mama's here to save the day again. Add half a cup of vegetable oil, she says. Whisk in the oil, and would you look at that? We're also gonna need some white crumbly cheese, just over a cup or 250 grams of it, which we're gonna, well, crumble into the mixture. Stir it in, and don't be afraid to be a little rough with it. The cheese is salty, but everything else isn't, so I'm gonna add a couple of big pinches of salt, and lastly, a teaspoon of baking soda. Give everything one last good mix, and we're ready to assemble the BANITSA. We'll do that in a baking tray that we're gonna prep by giving it a generous coating with butter. Make sure you go all the way up the sides as well, because the BANITSA is gonna puff up as it bakes. Once that's done, it's time to whip out the pastry. We're using Filo dough, and we're gonna need 1 whole pack of it. Make sure you get the one with the granny stamp of approval. Start by laying down a sheet on the bottom of the tray, and I quickly realized that my tray was wobbling around and moving all over the place. So I just fixed that by placing a damp towel underneath it. We're gonna do a double sheet on the bottom, and if you're working with a round tray like myself, the Filo sheets are most probably gonna be square, so you're gonna be dealing with some corners. But that's actually a good thing. The wrinklier it is, the better. All those waves are gonna make the BANITSA lighter and fluffier. As an experiment, I sprayed the sheets with water, at which Mama laughed, but I did it anyway. She was like, "There's no dry sheets with 6 eggs and half a cup of oil. Are you crazy, boy?" Anyway, so this part is pretty straightforward. Sprinkle a little bit of the filling on top of each sheet, but don't go too heavy. We want to make sure 1, that the BANITSA can rise in the oven, and 2, that we have enough filling for all the sheets. And then just repeat the same process. Next, I'll show you something that's traditional for a holiday BANITSA. You can put little fortunes in it. It's fun for the kids, and you can be cheeky with those and make it fun for everybody. You can come up with a specific wish for each guest, and then see what happens when they don't get the one that's meant for them. Add the fortunes if you made them, and then finish layering with the rest of the filling and the sheets. The last Filo dough sheet in the pack is probably gonna be all broken and crumbly, but that doesn't matter. You see, it's gonna come out beautiful. Now this is important. Make sure you save a few spoons of the filling for the top. Spread out the remainder of the filling thoroughly so that there's no dry pieces of dough. Then go around the tray and tuck in any loose ends. I forgot to film it, but I also scattered a few little pieces of butter on top. And we're ready to bake. At 375 Fahrenheit or 190 Celsius for about 30-40 minutes, or until beautiful and golden brown. I mean, what are we talking about here? I make the best stuff. Now, as hard as this is gonna be, we need to let this rest. We're gonna cover it with a kitchen towel, evenly space out 4 ramekins or bowls or cups, and we're gonna invert it so it's hanging. And we're doing that so that the layers don't collapse as it cools down. The towel just prevents it from falling out. In the meantime, grab some yogurt, preferably Bulgarian, because we're making ayran. Fill up a tall glass halfway with the yogurt, throw in a big pinch of salt, give it a little stir, I feel like that makes it easier to mix, then top up with water and mix until smooth. We can flip the BANITSA back up after 20-30 minutes of resting, and we're ready to dig in. I mean, come on. But let's hear the verdict. So Mama, are you proud of this BANITSA?
Yes.
And there you have it. Look at all these layers of buttery cheesy goodness. You know what that goes with really well? Some cold, salty, tangy ayran. Oh, wait a minute. What's that? A little fortune? How lucky. Given that I've absolutely not marked where it is in the pie. Ow, hot, hot, hot. But let's open it up and see what it says. Ha, got him. No, but seriously, do subscribe and like the video. It helps more than you think. Oh, I'm gonna need those. Roll out.